First time I heard it, I thought it was just plumbing. A faint tapping, steady and rhythmic, coming from the floor beneath my bed. It was easy to ignore. An old building creaking at night. The second night, the sound followed me. Every room I stepped into, that faint tap, tap began beneath my feet. Always the same pace, like a heartbeat trying to match mine. Needs repairs. I never saw anyone come or go. The windows down there were blacked out with old newspapers. By the end of the first week, I was timing the taps. They started at 11:43 p.m. every night, stopped at 3:06 a.m. Not random. I started to record them. When I played the audio back the next morning, I noticed something strange. The tapping wasn't random noise. It paused, spaced out, and then began again, almost like a pattern, like Morse code. I didn't know Morse, so I ran it through a translator app. The message was short: "Stop moving my things." I froze. My heart pounded as I replayed the sound, hoping it was a glitch. But no, the rhythm was precise, almost deliberate. That night, I couldn't sleep. I stayed on the couch, light on. Laptop open. At 11:43, the tapping started again, louder this time. I pressed record, leaning forward, whispering, "Who are you?" No response. Then, one heavy thud, like a fist hitting the ceiling from below. I jumped. My cup spilled over the laptop. The sound stopped immediately. I told myself I was being paranoid. Sleep deprivation, stress. Dr. Ahmed, my therapist, had warned me after the divorce. Your mind will play tricks when you isolate yourself. He said routine would help. Sleep, eat, walk, repeat. So I forced normalcy. I started running in the mornings, grocery shopping in the afternoons, talking to no one. But by the fourth week, the noises had evolved. Now I heard footsteps, slow, pacing footsteps beneath the floorboards. Sometimes they matched mine. Each step I took echoed a beat below. And sometimes they didn't. Sometimes they walked when I stood still. One morning, I came home from work and found the chair by the window moved, just slightly, angled toward the door. I didn't remember moving it, but maybe I had. That's what I kept telling myself. Maybe I did. It's what Dr. Ahmed would say. You're not crazy, Daniel. Trauma makes memory unreliable. But then came the knocking. Not from the floor this time, from inside the walls, soft, slow, as if knuckles brushed along the plaster. I pressed my ear against it and heard breathing. I backed away, staring at the wall. My hands shook. I called the landlord. He swore the lower unit was empty. No power, no tenants, nothing. He even came over, unlocked the basement door, and let me look. It was empty. Concrete floor, bare bulb, no furniture, no bed, no sign of life. But in the far corner, there was a patch of dark on the floor. At first, I thought it was water. When I got closer, I realized it was paint, thick, black paint. Words written across the concrete. Don't listen to him. I turned to ask what it meant, but the landlord was already backing toward the stairs. Old graffiti, he said quickly. Probably from before renovation. He locked the door behind us. That night, I dreamed of the basement, the walls breathing, the dark words pulsing like veins. When I woke, it was 3:06 a.m., the time the tapping always stopped. Except tonight, it didn't. The rhythm had changed. Faster, closer, louder. Like something was climbing upward through the walls. I turned on every light. I shouted, "Stop it!" The noise stopped instantly. Silence swallowed the room. Then I heard my phone buzz. Unknown number. I answered without thinking. A man's voice whispered, "You shouldn't have gone down there." Click. I stared at the screen. No call history, no number saved. The next morning, I went to Dr. Ahmed. I told him everything. The sounds, the writing, the voice. He listened patiently, then said, "Daniel, do you remember what happened before the divorce?" I frowned. "Of course." He leaned forward. "Do you?" My head hurt. For a moment, I couldn't recall her face. Just flashes. The bathtub. Her hand slipping beneath the water. My own voice shouting her name. Dr. Ahmed sighed. "You said there were noises before in your last house. You said they started after she..." He stopped himself. His voice softened. "You blamed yourself. Your mind created someone else to blame." I stood abruptly. "You think I'm imagining this?" He didn't answer, just wrote something in his notebook and said, "Try not to be alone tonight." That evening, I went home and poured myself a drink. I sat in the chair by the window, the one that always moved, and at exactly 11:43 p.m., I felt the first vibration beneath my feet. This time I didn't record it. I spoke directly to the floor. "What do you want?" The tapping stopped. Then, clear as my own heartbeat, a whisper rose through the boards. "To come back." The air froze around me. The lights flickered. I whispered, "Come back from where?" But there was no answer, just soft footsteps pacing beneath me, slow and deliberate until dawn. The next day, Dr. Ahmed didn't answer his phone. When I went to his office, the secretary said he'd taken a sudden leave. "Family emergency," she said. She couldn't look me in the eye. I went home, trying to convince myself I wasn't losing it. I made coffee, sat by the window again, but the cup slipped from my hand when I saw the mail slot move. An envelope slid through. No stamp, no name. Inside was a photograph. Me, sleeping, taken from above. The angle showed my body in bed. And something standing next to me. A dark shape, bent low, its hand resting on my chest. I tore through the apartment, searching every corner, every shadow. Nothing. But the photo kept shaking in my hand, as if the paper itself was breathing. That night, I nailed the door shut, closed the curtains, sat in the dark. 11:43 came and went. Silence. Relief washed over me. Maybe it was over. Maybe Dr. Ahmed was right. Then, around 3 a.m., I heard a faint creak behind me. I turned slowly. The chair by the window was moving, not rocking, turning, facing me. And sitting in it was her. Wet hair clinging to her face, eyes hollow, lips pale. She smiled faintly. "You moved my things." I couldn't breathe. She rose, slow and shaking, every step leaving a faint trail of water on the carpet. I backed away, whispering, "You're not real." She tilted her head. "Then why did you let me in?" The room went dark. When I woke, sunlight streamed through the window. Everything was dry, normal, quiet. For a moment, I convinced myself I'd dreamt it, until I saw the photograph again, now lying on the floor. Only this time, I wasn't the one sleeping in bed. She was. And the figure standing beside her, hand on her chest, was me. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel